Salutations to the nations. What's good, Angel Knots? It's your boy Young Sinai.
Angel Knot.
So today we're going to be reacting to a video by Restart Fanzine. This video is Fighters History versus Street Fighter 2, a character comparison. I've never heard of Fighters History. Of course, I've heard of Street Fighter 2. Who hasn't? Street Fighter 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. I will destroy you. I will pick Ken. You can. I know if you're Team Ryu, you know. No, I know. Ryu is. He looks cooler than Ken. I will give him that. Okay, but I'm Team Ken. Why? I don't know why. Because that's who I choose. Deal with it. Okay, let's go ahead and get started.
Hello, I'm Itsuko Adelman, Manager of Corporate Liaison at Data East USA Inc. in San Jose, California. This presentation provides a visual comparison
Yo, if this video is boring, we might not finish it. She gotta, come on.
of the characters and fighting moves from the two one-on-one fight games at issue in this dispute, Street Fighter II and Fighters History. Street Fighter
She making me depressed.
2 is produced by Capcom Company Limited in Japan and distributed by the plaintiff Capcom USA Inc. Fighters History is produced by Defendant Data East Corp in Japan and distributed by Defendant Data East USA. The nature of this dispute is described more fully.
So there was a straight up lawsuit. Oh, it does. It says it in the video. I'm bugging. Yo, the title says lawsuit exhibit video. Okay, so this is a whole lawsuit exhibit video. I don't know how I missed that part. My bad.
Fully in the printed materials filed by
No wonder it's so boring.
Capcom and Data East. Put simply, Capcom claims that Data East copied the fighter characters and their moves from Street Fighter II and put them into the Data East game Fighters History. Capcom has filed the declaration of a support representative, David Winstead, making these allegations. This video is organized into two parts. Part 1, made up of 7 short segments, reviews Capcom's allegation that Data East copied 7 characters from Street Fighter II.
Dang.
We will compare them with the
7?
characters from Fighters History that Capcom claims are copied. Part 2, made up of 18 short segments, compares several fighting techniques, generally known as special moves, that Capcom claims were copied in Fighters History. In this first segment, we will review Capcom's claim that Data East character Matlock Jade is a copy of Capcom's character Guile. A visual comparison of these characters show that they are not similar.
Don't worry, y'all. Like, her tone is hecka boring, and I'm like super, manic. But we gonna balance each other out, okay?
This is Guile, as he appears in the Street Fighter II strategy guide. The images from the strategy guide are the only images Capcom submitted with its papers. If you think that Guile looks familiar, you could be right. This is the image of Guile from Street Fighter II Champion Edition in his ready stance. I will refer to the screen images from the two games as bitmap images. Guile is obviously associated with the United States military. He wears camouflage military pants, army boots, a green military undershirt, dog tags, and a tattoo of an American flag. Consistent with his military image, Guile has a flat-top haircut. In many one-on-one fighting games, each character has its own graphical background known as its home stage. Guile's is a military base. There are other military personnel, a military aircraft, and United States Air Force insignia on the pavement. Matlock Jade from Data East Fighters History is quite different from Guile in both conception and appearance.
So it looked like she sounds like she's a representative for Fighters History, because she is putting things in a perspective of like, no, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. We go be the judge, okay? We go settle this lawsuit that's already been settled right 30 years ago.
This is a pencil sketch of Matlock used by the graphic artist
That looks nothing like Guile. That looks nothing like Guile.
as a model for the bitmap images in the game. And here's the bitmap image of Matlock from Fighters History in his ready stance. Matlock is an athletic punk rocker from England.
That's what I was gonna say. He looks like a rocker, a rocking. Now let's see what these special moves talking about. But just off appearance, they just saying that because they both white. That's racist.
He sports a blonde mohawk haircut, sunglasses and headphones, a leather-studded harness, baggy pants, and boots. Matlock.
Oh, did he just throw the sonic boom? That kind of looked like our sonic boom. I ain't gonna hold you.
His hair design was based on this photograph of a spiked mohawk haircut. Each character in Fighter's history has a particular weak spot and will be stunned if the opponent hits this weak spot when it is flashing. This concept does not exist in Street Fighter II. Matlock's weak spots are his sunglasses and headphones. Consistent with Matlock's athletic and musical character, his fighting movements, especially the kicks, resemble breakdancing. Matlock's home stage is a street in England
What kind of breakdancing y'all doing?
featuring other punk rockers and a distinctly British bobby. Dance music plays in the background.
He breakdance like Ray Gun.
The personality differences between Guile and Matlock are reinforced by their speech and behavior after winning a round.
Ow, come on!
Oh yeah.
This is Guile after a first round victory. Note that he silently combs his hair and folds his hands on his hips. Matlock is completely different.
All right, so that one, I'm gonna say no. All right, I'm gonna keep a score. Hold on. I'm gonna keep a score. All right, hold up. Nah, Lucky, put it on the screen, okay? We gonna keep a score. Lucky, she my editor. She holds this whole thing together.
This second segment compares Diddy
Shout outs to Lucky. All right.
East's character.
So far we got Fighter's History 0, Street Fighter. No. So far we got Street Fighter 0, Fighter's History 1.
Character Samche Tomyamkum and Capcom's character Sagat. Capcom asserts that Samche is a copy of Sagat. Both characters are Thai kickboxers, but otherwise they are very different. This is Sagat from Capcom's Street Fighter II strategy guide. He has a distinctive patch over one eye and a prominent scar across his chest. This is the bitmap image of Sagat in front of his home stage. Sagat is a bald giant who dwarfs other Street Fighter II characters. This is a pencil sketch of Diddy East's Samche, used as a model for the bitmap images in the game. This is the bitmap image of Samche in his ready
They got a similar stance, but it say that they use the same fighting style.
stance. Samche is a muscular but trim Thai kickboxer. His fighting movements and costume are based on the art of Muay Thai. Samche's appearance, costume, and movements were made as authentic as possible given the limitations of computer graphics, including his wrapped wrists, bicep arm.
Now, just looking at this, right, I could see how the untrained eye will look at this game and be like, oh, this is Street Fighter. From the health bars, like the way that they actually look from the background, people moving in the background, it looks like a Street Fighter game. But those of you all who consistently play Street Fighter know this is not Street Fighter.
Armbands and
I see why Capcom was pseudo. I ain't gonna hold you.
traditional headband. Samche's weak spots are his armbands. Samche's fighting moves and stances
that kinda
were
look
all
like Street
inspired by
Fighter.
photographs of actual kickboxers, as illustrated in this Thai
This game look kind of dope. I might have to download this.
kickboxing book. Sagat wears neither the traditional headband nor armbands. Samche shouts out the name of his special attacks in Thai, unlike Sagat. Although Mr. Winstead states that Samche is bald like Sagat, he is obviously not.
Yeah, he's not bald. What?
Mr. Winstead also states that Sagat wears earrings. According to the picture in Capcom's strategy guide, he does not. Sagat's home stage is completely different from Samche's.
He got so big, he don't even look down at the player. He just looks straight ahead.
In this third segment,
All right, I'm going to say that's a no. Again, I'm going to give that point to Fighter's History.
we review Capcom's assertion that Data East's character Makoto Mizoguchi
So far, the points is 2 Fighter's History, Street Fighter 0.
is a copy of Capcom's character Ryu. Other than being male Japanese fighters using karate techniques, the two characters are not similar. This is the picture of Capcom's Ryu from the Street Fighter II strategy guide.
Ryu looks stressed out. That dude look like he in his mid 40s, and he tries to fit in a little martial arts on his off days from working in the factory, and like his kids is just stressing him out. His wife done gave the last piece of chicken to the dog. He going through a lot. Look at that face.
Ryu wears a traditional Shotokan karate outfit, complete with a black belt and extended wrist protectors. This is the bitmap image of Ryu on his home stage, which is a dojo rooftop. This is a pencil sketch of Mizoguchi. This is the bitmap image of Mizoguchi in his ready stance. Mizoguchi departs from the traditional
They look kind of similar. They look a little similar. I ain't gonna hold you.
karate dress with baggy black pants and shortened wrist protectors. Mizoguchi's weak spot is his headband. Mizoguchi is a master of Kenka Karate, or no-hold-barred karate. It begins with standard karate and adds illegal fighting moves such as attacks below the belt, headbutting, and grabbing an opponent's collar to throw him to the ground.
So if anything, he Johnny Cage.
Mizoguchi's Japanese identification is further emphasized by his home stage, the suspension bridge between two steep mountains in the Kansai region of Japan.
Now I feel like I've seen Street Fighter use that background over time, but I mean it's a bridge, so
It looks very different from Ryu's home stage.
all right. So what y'all think about that one? Man, I'm gonna say that dude look kind of like Ryu, man. I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Street Fighter.
Fourth segment reviews Capcom's assertion that Data East character Jean-Pierre is similar to Capcom's character Vega. Other than being fair-skinned European fighters, these characters are not similar. This is the picture of Vega from the Street Fighter
Vega has a very distinct look.
II strategy guide. This is the bitmap image of Vega in his ready stance. Vega fights bare-chested and wears a long, fierce-looking claw on his attacking hand. He covers his face with a protective white hockey mask. In addition to these highly distinctive features, Vega wears high-waisted pants that end just below the knee and brown loafers. His brown hair is worn in a long, braided ponytail.
If this person don't have a face mask with the Wolverine claws, it's not Vega.
This is the pencil
Really?
sketch of Jean-Pierre.
All right, I'm gonna go with no. I don't even got to see nothing else about this character. All right, so that is a no. All right, so far the score is Fighter's History 3, Street Fighter 1.
And this
And technically that one is low-key a maybe.
is the bitmap image of John in his ready stance. Jean-Pierre is a strong, muscular, yet agile French gymnast. He has short blonde hair in a modern haircut, traditional gymnast outfit, and suspenders. His costume includes boots and protective knee pads to create a tougher appearance. John's weak spot is his leg band, which is in the colors of the French flag. John's and Vega's home stages are completely different. John fights in a ballroom at the Grand Palace of Versailles.
He looks super out of place there.
The French aristocracy in full ballroom clothing cheers him on. Vega fights in a Spanish fight pit in a darkened nightclub. The onlookers are protected by a tall chain-link fence.
Yeah, it's not the same at all.
This fifth segment reviews Capcom's assertion that Data East's Ray McDougal is similar to Street Fighter II's character Ken. Other than being blonde American men, these characters are not similar.
It's like Capcom just felt like any white dude with blonde hair was their character. Like, dude, you don't own that look.
This is Ken from Capcom's Street Fighter II strategy guide. And this is the bitmap image of Ken in his ready stance. Ken has brown eyes and long but neatly layered blonde hair. Ken wears a red karate costume, black belt, and no shoes. This is a bitmap image of Ray generated by Fighter's History. Ray is an American detective.
I mean, he is giving me kind of Ken vibes, but I mean...
Trained in a variety of martial arts. He has blue eyes and short...
Did he just do a Hadouken? Oh, I think he just did a Hadouken.
Trained in a variety of martial arts. He has blue eyes.
Nah, that's a knockoff Ken. Even that stance he hit there, you know what I'm saying?
And short, messy blonde hair. He wears a tight muscle shirt with a prominent lightning bolt on the front. To portray his American identity, Ray wears blue jeans and athletic shoes and speaks English while fighting. Ray's weak spot is the lightning bolt on his shirt. Ken and Ray have different hairstyles, different colored eyes, and different costumes. Players attracted to Ken's purist karate personality are unlikely to be attracted to Ray, who is almost mocking the purists. Ray's home stage is the U.S. Capitol building. The accompanying music is rock and roll. Ken's home stage is quite different.
I don't know. I'm going to give that one to Street Fighter. It might be my Ken bias. But when he threw his special move, it definitely looked like Ken's. So I'm going to go ahead and give that to Street Fighter. So basically they took Street Fighter's 2. They basically took Street Fighter's 2 main characters in my book. Kind of.
This sixth segment reviews Capcom's allegation that Data East character Mastorius is similar to Capcom's character Zangief. Other than being heavy-set wrestlers, the two characters are not similar. This is a picture of Zangief from Capcom's Street Fighter II strategy guide. And this is a bitmap image of Zangief in his ready stance. Consistent with Zangief's origin in the old Soviet Union, he wears his hair in a short, narrow strip down the middle of his shaved head and has a close-cropped beard. Zangief wears only red and gold boots, briefs, and wristbands. There appears to be some barely noticeable hair on and wristbands. There appears to be some barely noticeable hair on Zangief's legs above the bootlaces. It is impossible to tell whether this hair is fur protruding from the top of the boot or Zangief's own leg hair. This is the bitmap image of Mastorius from Data East's game Fighter's History. Mastorius has a more liberated appearance, with long shaggy hair and a very full beard. Mastorius wears fur leg warmers inspired by this well-known pro wrestler, Bruiser Brody.
You can tell that's who he is.
Mastorius wears the costume of the ancient Roman gladiators who he believes may have originated his modern wrestling style.
Yeah.
He wears a leather protector covering much of his upper body and skirt-like shorts. Zangief's home stage reinforces these character differences.
Yeah.
Zangief fights in this Soviet industrial factory. Note the familiar hammer and sickle on the floor. The confined workers cheer him on. Mastorius' home stage is outdoors, in front of the historic Fountain of Trevi in Italy.
Yeah, I'm going to give this a no as well. You know, just because you got a muscular dude that's hairy don't make it the same person. So I'm going to give this one a no. Come on, Capcom. Y'all not looking too good out in these streets.
The fountain features a large statue in the traditional Roman style.
I'm taking notes.
The seventh and
Sorry if y'all hear my cats playing in the background.
last character comparison segment reveals Capcom's allegation that Data East's character Fei Lin is similar to Capcom's character Chun-Li.
Yeah, this one I was waiting to see if they was gonna have a Chun-Li. They basically saying that they took their whole roster. They saying y'all stole our whole flow.
Other than being Chinese women, the characters are not similar. This is Chun-Li as she appears in the Street Fighter II strategy guide.
Chun-Li has a very
And
iconic
this
look.
is the bitmap image of Chun-Li in her ready stance. Chun-Li wears a blue china dress, revealing her legs up to her waist, calf-high white boots, and spiked wristbands.
Chun-Li legs look like Ryu and Ken's arms.
She ties
That's
her
how
hair up with an
muscular they
elaborate
are.
ribbon with two prominent poofs, one at each side of her head. These are pencil sketches of Fighter's history character Fei
No.
Lin.
No.
Fei Lin is a top actress in Kyogeki, a traveling Chinese opera. Her opera costume has protective armor from her shoulder to her breast. The rest of the opera costume covers her legs to below the knee. Fei Lin wears brown kung fu shoes and wears her hair in a long ponytail tied in two places. Fei Lin's costume was inspired by this photograph of an authentic Chinese opera costume. This is the bitmap image of Fei Lin in her ready stance. Fei Lin is an expert in Toroken, or praying mantis can.
Hey, look, she
It
look like
involves
she can
stances
fight.
and fighting movements very different from those of other Chinese
I don't know, that
fighters,
jump is kind of Chun-Li-ish. I ain't gonna hold you.
such as Chun-Li in Street Fighter II. Fei Lin's home stage in China depicts other members of her theatrical company and is accompanied by music in the style of Chinese opera. Chun-Li's home stage, which depicts a busy marketplace,
They jump
quite
is similar.
different. Fei Lin is a serious, strong woman fighter who commands respect. Chun-Li, on the other hand, grins and giggles, portraying a stereotype of a young girl who need not be taken seriously.
Hey, don't do Chun-Li. Don't try to throw shade. You feel me saying that one is strong and Chun-Li is... Nah, Chun-Li's strong too. You feel me? No, see how they throwing... You could tell that she a lawyer for the other side.
Seriously.
All right, that is very playful. It's very playful. But I mean, don't get me wrong though. Chun-Li is a force to be reckoned with.
This concludes the character comparisons in the two games. Part 2 of this video will compare the characters' special fighting moves. Tom asserts were copied by Data East.
All right, so that was a good video. Let me know in the comments what you all think. Do you all think that Capcom stole their ideas? All right, so let's see. What's the math? All right, so I got Fighter's history. I do not think that they took Capcom or Street Fighter's win by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 2 and a possible. We'll say that Chun-Li one was a possible. If I did my math right and added up all the characters like I think I did. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 2.5. So let me know if you all enjoyed that. If you guys did like it, then I will try to find the video of comparing the special moves. But yeah, Street Fighter, y'all have a really good idea. But of course, other companies are going to be inspired by, and completely ripped off are two different things. I don't think that they necessarily ripped them off, but I feel like they were heavily inspired. So I didn't want to just leave you guys hanging. I kind of was curious myself as to how did this lawsuit turn out. So let's take a look. In spite of the intentional similarities between the two games, the court concluded that Data East did not infringe upon Capcom's copyright, as most of these similarities were not protected under copyright. Judge William H. Orrick Jr. applied a legal principle known as the merger doctrine, where the courts will not grant copyright protection where it would effectively give someone a monopoly over an idea. And that goes back to what I was saying, that Capcom would just look at a character and like, oh, this character's Chinese. They can't have a Chinese character. This guy's white with blonde hair. They can't have that. That's ours. When that ain't how it worked, bro. Y'all didn't invent white people with blonde hair. You didn't invent Chinese women, right? But yeah, they ultimately lost. All right, y'all. Be real. Salutations to the nations. God bless. Peace.
Angel Knot.